Now to our special focus this evening on the muddle in the Mahagadbandhan in Bihar as it fights internal contradictions in full public glare. The most powerful face of the alliance, Tejasvi Yadav, will have to campaign perhaps against his own party, the RJD's candidate in Gora Boram, Afzal Khan. Khan was nominated the RJD's candidate and filed his nominations. But a last-minute deal with a small regional party, the VIP, means that Tejasvi will campaign for the VIP's Santosh Sani against Afzal Khan. This is a reflection perhaps of the seat-sharing chaos and the complications in Bihar. The internal contradictions have been out in the open, with the RJD, Congress and the left parties facing off against each other in at least a dozen constituencies, each fielding their own nominees. In at least 12 seats, it's either the RJD fighting the Congress or a left party fighting the Congress or the RJD. Eerily similar to the MVA's troubles in Maharashtra, one would agree that this is expected in an alliance of this nature, but the scale of it, does it hurt the optics on the ground? Does this mean in a closely fought election, internal differences could take a heavy toll on the opposition? Does it mean the momentum from the vote chori campaign is lost in this chaos? Two top Bihar observers will join us in a bit, but first, listen in to the political reactions that came in earlier in the day.
मैंने अपने जीवन काल में कभी इस तरीके का चुनाव नहीं देखा जहां पे इतना बड़ा गठबंधन इस तरीके से बिखराव की कगार पर आ गया। और ऐसे में अगर इस भ्रम में है महागठबंधन के लोग कि भैया कुछ सीटों पे आमने सामने हो जाएं, देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड एज फ्रेंडली फाइट, आइदर यू आर फ्रेंड्स और यू आर फाइटिंग विद ईच अदर। ये दोस्ताना संघर्ष राजनीति में नहीं होता है, ये गलत शब्दावली है।
इसी टाइप के लोगों को तो टिकट दिए हैं लोग, उनका थोड़े कोई कल्चर बदला है। जो बड़े बड़े सिंबल थे जंगल राज के, उन्हीं के परिवार के लोगों को टिकट दिया है। इसलिए बिहार की जनता सब जानती है, और जब रिजल्ट 14 नवंबर को आएगा तो मुझे लगता है कि पूरा इस बार सब सबक मिल जाएगा। आए थे SIR पर, वोट चोरी पर चर्चा भी कर रहे हैं इस बात का। पूरा यात्रा जो बिहार में किए राहुल गांधी जी, इसी के नाम पर किए, अब चर्चा भी कर रहे हैं कहीं SIR, वो मुद्दा खत्म हो गया। तो वो तो पॉलिटिकल टूरिस्ट है, चुनाव में अपना टूरिज्म करने के लिए भी हमका क्या लेना देना है राहुल गांधी का बिहार से।
मैं बार बार कहता हूँ, मैं आजीवन कांग्रेसी था 2 जनरेशन से, फिर भी मैं बार बार कहता हूँ, क्यों छोड़ के चले आए रामाश्रय बाबू, क्यों छोड़कर चले गए, बड़े बड़े दिग्गज नेता क्यों छोड़ के चले गए, आज अशोक कुमार भी क्यों छोड़कर चले आए। इसलिए कि लालू प्रसाद यादव कांग्रेस के प्रति ईमानदार नहीं है। अलायंस ऐसे जो रहे, लेकिन कांग्रेस के प्रति ईमानदार नहीं है कि कांग्रेस ताकतवर हो, मजबूत हो, इस कहीं नहीं। मतलब जो एक अलायंस पार्टनर का हम 54 के हकदार हैं, हम 40 पैसे के हकदार हैं, वो भी देने को तैयार नहीं है। ये तो कांग्रेस पार्टी को ना समझना पड़ेगा। जितना टाइम RJD के पीछे कांग्रेस ने लगाया, अगर उतना काम अब उतना समय खुद खड़े होने में लगाता था, आज कांग्रेस एक बड़ा ताकत बन के रहता प्रदेश में।
कांग्रेस RJD एक दूसरे को 2 नंबर की पार्टी बनाने के और पूरा उनका जो है ये अभियान चला। राहुल गांधी का जब SIR का यात्रा हो रहा था, उस समय भी आपने देखा कि राहुल गांधी चाहते थे कि तेजस्वी तीसरे नंबर पर बैठे। ये उनका अंदर का मतभेद है, और कभी भी महागठबंधन के अंदर आपसी संवाद, आपसी मेल रह ही नहीं सकता है। और जनता और मतदाता ने देखा कि NDA ने सबसे पहले सीट शेयरिंग किया, सीट का बंटवारा किया, उम्मीदवार का घोषणा किया, और आज तक महागठबंधन जो है सिर फुटअव्वल चल रहा है, और अभी भी करीब 13 जगह पर इस तरह का मामला सामने नजर आ रहा है।
बीजेपी वालों के साथ यही परेशानी है। डबल इंजन की सरकार है, 11 वर्षों से केंद्र में सरकार है, यहाँ 20 वर्षों से सरकार है। इसके बावजूद वो कह रहे हैं कि महागठबंधन स्वार्थ के लिए। बिहार को विशेष राज्य का दर्जा क्यों नहीं मिला, विशेष पैकेज क्यों नहीं मिला, पटना यूनिवर्सिटी को सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी का दर्जा क्यों नहीं मिला, क्या काम किया बिहार के लिए, ये तो कोई बीजेपी के नेता बता ही नहीं रहे हैं। सिर्फ महागठबंधन पर, आदरणीय लालू प्रसाद जी के परिवार पर, श्री तेजस्वी यादव जी पर गाली देकर चले जा रहे हैं।
Well, so the politicians have spoken, but joining me now is senior journalist and consultant with NDTV, Ajit Jha, and our very own Prabhakar Kumar. Two veteran Bihar observers Happy Deepavali to the two of you, Ajit Jha and Prabhakar Kumar. Hope politics isn't overshadowing the festivities in Bihar, as it must in election season. Seat sharing troubles is not a new issue in a large alliance. But is it hurting, Prabhakar, the optics of a cohesive fight in Bihar for the Mahagadbandhan? If yes, which of the alliance parties would you hold responsible for it?
A very happy Diwali to you, Veera. And coming to your question, it's basically RJD which is in the driving seat, RJD which is in the big brother's role out here, and it was their responsibility actually to ensure that this coalition is stitched properly, it's cobbled together properly, and all the partners in this coalition actually get the desired number of seats, or at least are satisfied with what they are getting, what they are given, or what they are getting. Now, here is a situation where 13 seats out of 243 is where there is a friendly fight. And there's nothing called a friendly fight in the politics, especially in the coalition politics, because if you are pitching your candidate against your coalition partner, then you are hurting the possibility or the winnability of the entire coalition. So 13 seats, I would say, is because of the so-called friendly fight out here. The NDA has an upper edge. So RJD was the party, is the big brother's role, was to distribute the seats. They have not been able to complete that task which they had at hand, and especially Tejasvi Yadav, who was the man actually heading this entire sheet sharing thing among the coalition partners. And they're not able to handle this well, and that's the reason why they have landed in this situation, Veera.
Okay, you're saying that the coalition partner, the senior most coalition partner, is the one responsible and the one which needs to make sure that there is a cohesive fight. Ajit Jha, it's a given that in an alliance so complex, in an alliance so large, there was bound to be friction in terms of seat sharing. Given that, how much do you believe this would affect the optics and the final result? The internal contradiction, does it also affect the chemistry, in a sense, for an outside observer that was built amongst the India allies during that vote chori campaign?
Yes, absolutely, Veera. Think of this. Even before the elections were announced in Bihar, there was a 16-day voter adhikar rally where Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi Yadav, Dipankar Bhattacharya and Mukesh Sahni were all next to each other. They spent 16 days together. If they were far-sighted, they could have sorted all this out because they are the final guys in each of the parties concerned. But over there, the only issue was vote chori. And they went and they created a euphoria. Everyone thought that the Mahagadbandhan had an advantage over the NDA before the elections were announced. And the moment the elections are announced, it takes a 180 degrees turn. The Mahagadbandhan allies are fighting like cats and dogs among themselves, as Prabhakar said, in 13 constituencies. And some of these constituencies, like Bachwara, it's a swing seat. The winner had won by 454 votes. Now, in another constituency, Vaishali, the winner had won barely with about 7,000 votes. What tends to happen is that even if you lose a few votes here and there, the entire, the battle will be in favor of NDA. And think of this, in 13 seats, last election, the NDA won by merely 12,700 and whatever, or 700 odd votes. Now, if this time, with tight fights, such an intense election, and a third player like Prashant Kishore jumping in, think of what would happen in 13 seats if Congress is battling RJD, CPI, and VIP. So it's totally a muddle and a misadventure by the Mahagadbandhan, and it's going in favor of the NDA, at least for now, unless and until some of these guys withdraw or are forced to withdraw from 13, come down to maybe, I think even if there are 2 or 3 friendly seats, it might cost them the election.
All right, you're making a very, very important point. You're saying that even 2 or 3 such friendly fights which are chaotic and virulent in nature could affect the election, especially in a close election. But Prabhakar Kumar, very briefly, and before I go to Prabhakar Kumar, let me remind our viewers, Ajit Jha has been writing some fascinating opinion pieces on NDTV.com. You must pick those as well. This point that he's made as well, he's made it very emphatically in some of the pieces. Prabhakar, what's the sense you're picking up from the political leaders? Is, like, for instance, the Tejasvi Yadav extremely concerned about this kind of friction that's playing out? Or do they believe that, fine, let's see how this plays out, we'll try to tide over it in other ways?
No, they can't afford actually to downplay it. Remember, you have 2 more days to go before the nomination withdrawal date for the second phase of polling happens. So that is on the 23rd of this month, and all the senior leaders, as per my information, are trying hard to bring down this number. They would not be able to bring it to 0, I would say, but from 13 friendly fights, they are trying to bring down this number, which means that they are trying to convince the candidates in favor of the respective parties to withdraw the nomination, and they have 48 hours to go. So they are trying to repair the damage which has been done. But as Ajit Jha was rightly pointing out, so it does not actually affect on the 13 seats. It is a ripple effect. There's a multiplying effect on the adjoining seats as well. So if you have a friendly fight on 13 seats, remember it would be into 6 or into 7 constituencies which would be affected. So it has a ripple effect. It has a effect, and it has a surround sound actually. So when you are campaigning against each other, RJD candidate campaigning against Congress, or for that matter the left parties, it affects the other adjoining seats as well, and it would overall bring down their tally and benefit NDA in a way.
Right, you're making an important point. The surround sound and the larger optics of a cohesive alliance taking on the party that's been ruling and the dispensation that's been in power is an extremely important aspect. I'll be joining Prabhakar Kumar as well in Bihar from Friday to try and find a little flavor for the Bihar elections that can be relatable to the rest of the country. But thanks very much, Prabhakar and Ajit Jha. Wish you very happy Deepavali as we leave this conversation for the moment. We'll keep close focus on Bihar.